Hello and welcome to Matt's Casual Cooking. Today we are going to be making the very sweet Coca Cola Cake. A very easy treat that you can make yourself for the year and any upcoming birthdays or really just for fun. So we're going to go over all the ingredients and how to put together and let's get to it.
All right, folks, so we're going to go over the ingredients that you're going to need today. Now, for the cake itself, you're going to need 1 cup of Coca Cola. You're going to need half a cup of buttermilk. You're going to need 1 cup or 2 sticks of butter or margarine softened. You're going to need 1 3/4 cups of sugar. You're going to need 2 large eggs. You're going to need 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. You're going to need 2 cups of all-purpose flour. You're going to need 1/4 cup of cacao powder. You're going to need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And you're going to want 1.5 cups of miniature marshmallows. Now for the frosting, you're going to need half a cup or 1 stick of butter, 1/3 cup of Coke, 3 tablespoons of cacao powder, 16 ounces of brown sugar, either light or dark, that's going to be up to you, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Now we're going to go over how to put everything here together, and I will see you then. Alright folks, so for starters what you want to do is you want to get out an electric mixer or a stand mixer, and you want to go ahead and add your butter for this. But also, before we start beating it, you want to take your buttermilk and Coke, and it's going to look a little foamy when you combine them together, so you want to do that and just set it off to the side. And also what you want to do is you want to take your baking soda, your flour, and your cacao powder, and also combine it and set it aside before we start. So go ahead, for your butter, just beat it on low until it's creamy, and then we will move on to the next step. Alright folks, so our butter is done. So what we're going to do now is you're just going to pour in your sugar, and you don't have to do this in batches, just do it all at once. Just pour in your sugar. Should have done it from that side. All we're going to do now is we're just going to beat this until it is combined together. So go ahead and do that, and we'll get on to the next step. Alright folks, so you can see right over here that the sugar and the butter are nice and blended. It's almost going to look like a snow if you've never done it before. So all we're going to do now is add your eggs, just add them both at a time, and your vanilla, and just go ahead and beat it till combined. So once that's done, we'll move on to the next step. Alright folks, so our eggs and vanilla extract has been combined into the batter. So all we're going to do now is you want to take your cacao, flour, and baking soda mixture, and what we're going to do is you're only going to pour in about half of it first. We're not going to pour it all in. And then what you want to do is combine it, and then once it's combined, you're going to pour in the buttermilk and Coke, combine that and do all of it, and then you're going to pour in the rest of the flour, cacao, baking soda mixture. So once that's done, we will move on to the last step. So see you then. Alright folks, so what I got here is the batter is done. And what you're just going to do is you're going to pour in your marshmallows. We're not going to beat them in. Just want to go ahead and take it, and you just want to kind of mix them together, fold them in, however you want to do it. You just want to make sure that they are covered in the batter themselves. And what we're going to do now is go ahead and get out a 9x13 pan, get out some cooking spray or butter, and get out some flour with something to kind of sift it onto it. So I will see you in just a minute. Alright folks, so in your 9 by 13 pan, what you want to do is you want to either butter the sides and the bottom, or you just want to use your cooking spray to get all of them. And we're actually going to flour it as well. Now I've pretty much done, but all you want to do is just take like a little sifter, or you can even take like a spoon, and we're just going to, you don't want it to be necessarily like a heavy coat, so if you think you have a little extra too much flour, just go ahead and shake it out like over a trash can or something like that. And that's all you got to do for that. So all we're going to do now is take your batter, just going to pour it in. Just make sure you cover it side to side, fill in those gaps. And that's all we're going to do. Now what you want to do here is you want to turn your oven to 350 degrees. And we're going to cook it for 30 to 35 minutes. Now we're not going to be sticking like a toothpick or a knife in here. So just after the 30 to 35 minutes, take it out. And we're going to let it cool 10 minutes. And in that 10 minutes, we're going to make the frosting for it, so I will see you then. Alright folks, so you can see the cake is done here. We're going to move it over to cooling, and then we're going to go over the frosting. And you can see kind of the marshmallows have kind of risen up in here, but don't worry, once we let this cool, it's going to start to solidify quite a bit. So we're going to move on over to the frosting and see you in a second. Alright folks, so now for the frosting, what we're going to do initially is get out a saucepan, and you're going to add your butter, Coke, and cacao powder to this. And what we're going to do is you're going to cook it just over medium heat until the butter melts. We're not going to necessarily bring this to a boil or anything, so go ahead, cook it on medium until your butter starts to melt. And I would just whisk it. You can just use a wooden spoon too if you want. But once that's done, remove it from the heat and add in your brown sugar and vanilla extract, and then whisk that together as well. And then we're going to pour it over the cake. So I will see you in just a minute. Alright folks, so our icing is done, and you can see it's, while we're whisking it, it's definitely thickened up a little bit. It's still kind of runny, but that's okay. And what we're going to do is we're just going to pour this on. Now you do want to pour on the frosting while the cake is warm, so it kind of sits on it really nicely. I think we pretty much have it. So you can see too it definitely turned a lot darker with the brown sugar whisked into it. That's okay. The mushrooms, I mean the marshmallows, are moving away. That's okay. No harm, no foul on this. Alright, so we are done. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and let it really kind of cool to room temperature, or go ahead and put it in the refrigerator for like an hour or two to kind of let it firm up. I'm just going to let it sit here for a little bit to kind of cool down. So if you enjoyed making this recipe today, like, subscribe, share, leave a comment below. I want to thank everyone from watching, from my subscribers to my people that aren't subscribed. I just really enjoy making this stuff for you, and I'd like you to come back next week and go on another fun cooking journey with me. So thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Take care.